I've just watched the news and it has confirmed what I've probably known for about 2-3 weeks now, that in Jamaica we have a shortage of chicken. And that shortage really just made me look at one thing. Can Jamaica in 2020 and even beyond, can we actually feed ourselves? When we really look at it, food security is becoming a real issue nowadays, especially with climate change taking over. It's not raining enough, and we realize that in certain parishes, especially the breadbasket parish, there is a shortage of water. And even before the whole rain issue, there was water issues. Farmers were always complaining that the irrigation is not steady, there's not enough water trucks coming in. So water is a serious problem, and we have other problems to speak and look on as it relates to farming. We have salt water intruding. Trust me, and that is a strange phenomenon we could probably look at. Salt water intruding where fresh water is. So trust me, many farmers are fighting with that, especially in Jamaica. So when we really look at it, can we provide for ourselves? Because I don't know how many persons listening, when we're walking through a supermarket and we look on the shelves and we look at the labels, and when we look at these products, right? I would assume that probably 70% of these items are not from Jamaica. I went into Progressive the other day and I even see some items coming from as far as Saudi Arabia. Went into Mega Mart, I saw the same thing. And I'm saying to myself, if push comes to shove, America has a food bank. Many countries abroad can probably feed themselves, and I know that their economy allows for them to do that. But I'm constantly thinking, can we do that? Because we are importing so much, and when we do import, and I know the argument for many persons is that the import is oftentimes cheaper than what we produce, but we're killing off the local man. And it was surprising that back in the day we normally import chicken, and when we imported chicken it was way cheaper because certain parts of the chicken is not consumed in America, and so they could always dump it here. So when you look at it, that killed off our chicken farmers back in the day. I know in the early 90s the importation of milk powder basically killed off our dairy industry, and it has never recovered. I think it was in mid-2000, hurricane, I think it was Ivan, basically wiped out the banana industry. So when you look at it, can we really feed ourselves knowing that the smallest shock will basically wipe out a sector under the agricultural banner? Right now, cocoa farmers are basically fighting off this disease. So when you look at it, we are not eating what we produce. Our stomachs are in the hands of overseas suppliers, and when you look at it, once our tastes are in overseas hands, that means local producers won't produce, they don't have a job. And you see, in days gone by, my grandparents normally would eat their yam, their dasheen, but nowadays kids, their tastes aren't in that. Many of them don't even like yam, they don't like banana. The most they would eat that probably is locally made is bread. So when you really do look at it, we don't have a agro-processing based economy. Many times back in the days, I normally see tomato farmers crying because their crops don't have market. And if we had that insight, we could have made government food processing plants and taking those stuff, make tomato paste, and we have our own ketchup or whatever we can do with tomatoes. So when you really look at it, there's a lot of things we could talk about. But personally, I don't think we're going the way we need to go for us to feed ourselves. Because in many cases, I don't think we're producing enough to meet the needs of the export market and locally. And when you look at it, I know many of you have been to the market, and when you hear the prices, $500 for a pound of lettuce, $300, $330 for yam. There was a time when tomato was like $150 a pound. What else is there? I normally buy plantains for like $100 for like 4. Last time I've been down there it was like $200, $250. So when you really look at it, the struggles that farmers have to face to keep prices down is very hard. So there are calls for us to eat healthy, but when you really look at healthy eating in Jamaica, it's very expensive. Many persons will say no, it's not, but trust me, it is. So until we can find a way where we can actually increase our production to the point where we have surpluses, and these surpluses are processed and turned into a product, we're going to be in trouble. Because when you do look at it, if we do have a natural disaster, I've never really heard of a national storehouse for food. Because honestly, I think we do need to look into that, and the government really needs to start putting work in securing the nation's food, especially seeing that our food bill is very high. Our stomachs are in the hands of America, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, and we have even gone as far as Turkey and Saudi Arabia. So when you really look at it, we're no longer eating the yam, the banana and the dasheen, because youths nowadays so that take too long for cook and KFC actually tastes better. So we're in trouble. So for me personally, this was just something that was on my mind, and I just put it down. I never really wrote a script, I just put it down. But we're really in trouble. We're really in trouble because I don't see the government's push to really secure our food, and I don't really see persons asking about food security if we're not even pushing for water security. But I'm hoping that this government will seek to push for that, and our new Minister of Agriculture will lead the charge with research, with development in new agricultural practices, make lands available to farmers, give them the tools they need, find a way to provide for farmers, strengthen the cooperative movement again, because we need to start producing, and when we produce, we need to have the quality that can meet the standards internationally to hit the market. We need to have surpluses so we can supply the needs of our people, and we need to have a little toops left back to put down for later. So that's just my thoughts on it, and I hope you guys can probably leave some comments and let's continue the conversation.